Good morning, friends. Today we are going to learn a very important topic that is called effective communication. All of us want to communicate effectively in families, in schools, in colleges, and at workplace. So today we are going to see what effective communication is, how we can communicate better. And my name is T. Sunand Emmanuel. So what are we going to learn today? We're going to see what communication is. Secondly, with whom do we communicate? Thirdly, why do we communicate? Fourthly, what are some of the barriers in communication? And fifthly, what are some solutions to effective communication? So, my dear students, what comes to your mind when you come across the word communication? Ideas, views, thoughts? Are they feelings? Are they opinions? Or does the word people come to your mind? Or is it something related to sharing information? Yes, you are right. All the above and much more. So, how can we broadly, simplify the definition of communication? It is nothing but exchange of ideas, views, opinions between two or more people. In short, it is exchange of information between two or more people. That could be ideas, views, feelings, thoughts, opinions. And with whom do we communicate? As you can see on the slide, we communicate or we love to communicate with friends, acquaintances. We communicate with colleagues of the same department or different departments in the college. We communicate with our superiors, our subordinates, strangers, and even family members. So as you can see here, we are communicating with almost everybody. So, but why do we communicate? That's the most important question. We communicate basically to inform. A history teacher wants to share information related to what happened in history, let's say in 16th century or 17th century. So, a physics teacher or a communications ECE teacher or a EEE teacher or a computer science teacher, when they come to a classroom, they're basically disseminating or sharing information to the class. But we also communicate to persuade people. Take sales boys, sales managers, or take parents for example. When children do make mistakes, the way they try to persuade them. We also, thirdly, as you can see on the slide, we communicate basically to, of course, entertain. Okay? And what can you see here? It's a very simple model of communication. We have a sender here, we have a receiver, and the sender wants to say something. It is called the message, and there is always a context. It could be a sad occasion, it could be a happy occasion, it could be an occasion where let's say a student has very less attendance and the principal is a little upset with him, so that too especially in the morning time. So there is always a context to communication, and when a sender wants to communicate with the receiver, he uses various channels. Okay, he can talk face to face, he can use a mobile phone, he can SMS, we can use a fax. If it comes to mass media, we communicate using a TV. So what is the model of communication here? We have a sender, we have a receiver, we have a message. Message is what I want to share with you. Right now, I want to share some ideas, some information related to communication with you. And but is it so simple as I described? No. There is always an element called noise in communication. In spite of my best intentions, okay, things can still go wrong. Okay, so now let us see what are the elements of communication based on the previous slide. We have a sender, we have a message, we have a channel. It could be face to face, a mobile phone, a fax. Okay, it could be email, it could be a letter. Okay, and we have a receiver. Receiver is nothing but the listener. And the most important element in communication is called feedback, right? So I can't assume that whatever I said is understood by you. I should have the politeness and grace and courage to take feedback from you. We also have an element called noise, and there is always a context. Am I speaking in the morning time? Am I speaking in the afternoon time? Okay, and what is the occasion? So what are some of the barriers, as you can see on the slide? Poor language. If my command in English is not adequate, I might misunderstand you. Second barrier, as you can see, a difference in perception. The way old people see the world and the way young people see the world. If you actually take a simple example like pop culture, the old people today in their 60s might say pop culture is, is against Indian ethos and society. Young people might say there's nothing wrong. So perceptual differences. Third thing, as you can see, status differences. Somebody with an MTech qualification versus somebody with just a BTech qualification. Somebody with a PhD qualification and somebody with just a PG qualification. So rich and poor. Okay, also could be a difference in communication. Jumping the gun is nothing but assuming without verifying the facts. We love to believe that somebody is wrong. And the next barrier you can see is poor listening skills. If I don't pay attention to you, or if you don't pay attention to me, due to distractions, communication can go wrong. And sixthly, as you can see, knowledge levels. Somebody might be very well, read. Somebody may not have so much information. So in that process also, miscommunication can take place. So the last slide, let us see what is it we can do to improve our communication skills. One, we have to improve our listening skills without getting distracted. Can we concentrate on the speaker? The second thing, the most important thing is respecting others' perspectives. We have to respect others' perspectives. Okay, you might like rock music. I may not like rock music. So we have to respect others' views and opinions. And the third important thing in communication is maintaining a positive attitude. Right? So probably you say you're not perfect. I'm not perfect, but still we can give some room that things could be better, things could improve, okay, things can change. And the last one is empathizing with others. Is very, very important. Empathy means putting ourselves in the other person's shoes. We have to empathize with others. In what situation that person might have made a mistake. So my dear friends, to conclude, listening is important. If you want to be an effective communicator, respecting others' perspective is important. Maintaining a positive attitude, willingness to listen to the other person is important. And finally, empathizing with others. Thank you very much.